Most people know of the map of Canada. It looks something like this, with 10 provinces and 3 territories: British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, Quebec, Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, New Brunswick, Newfoundland and Labrador, and the territories of Yukon, Northwest, and Nunavut. This map is actually incorrect, however, as there's another area that belongs to Canada that is not shown here. Let us discuss what this place is. And it is located in France. So the year is about 1917 in April. The Germans have held a place called Vimy Ridge for about 2 years, since about 1914. The British and the French tried to keep capturing it between those 2 years, but the Germans kept pushing them back. So the Germans held it from 1914 to about 1917. With little other choice, the British sent the Canadian forces into Vimy Ridge to try and capture it. And before we continue, here's a quick little fun fact. British forces at the time were called Tommies, and Canadians were called Stormtroopers. Just thought that was a funny little joke. So anyway, the biggest factor that led to the Canadian victory was the week-long artillery barrage that led before the battle. The Canadian and British artillery pounded the Germans at Vimy Ridge for about a week before they actually advanced. Then the day of April 9th came. 5:30 a.m. in the morning, the Canadians advanced on Vimy Ridge. 15,000 from all over the country advanced on Vimy Ridge, with inconsistent information on how many Germans were there. But the Germans actually held the advantage, even though they were being pounded by artillery barrage, they actually held the advantage because they were defending. Back then, trench warfare was the main form of attack, and those on the defensive held the main advantage because they had more cover, because the attackers had to go over the trench through barbed wire to attack the enemy. 3,598 Canadians were killed, 7,000 were wounded, and 4,000 Germans were held prisoner, with unknown numbers of German casualties over a period of 4 days. I think Brigadier General Ross summed it up perfectly. In those few moments, I witnessed the birth of a nation. For people all over Canada invaded that ridge. And this was the first time in the entire war all 4 of the Canadian divisions actually fought as one. And after the war, France was so impressed with the Canadian victory over Germany that they actually gave the ridge to Canada, along with a 1-kilometer area around it. So this makes this area in France Canadian soil. The Battle of Vimy Ridge is the most important battle ever in Canadian history. No other battle ever fought by Canada has even come close to its importance. The closest contender for the title is Juno Beach Landing in World War II. So that's how Canada got this little 1-kilometer long territory in France, and a proper map of Canada should look like this. 10 provinces, 10 provinces, 3 territories, and a little chunk of France. Hope you like this video and subscribe for more.